It again. Hello, Dawn. Dawn Ferry is one of my really good friends, and I'm just going to get this in a neat place. I need you to get real close to me.
I'm surprised you can't rotate the camera to use it.
Oh, I know. It's always a challenge, but you know that's okay. This way.
Wait a minute. No, that's to do the other camera. Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to move it back, and Dawn, you're going to have to get as
scooch
close to me as possible.
Yay.
All right, so tonight, thank you, John. Tonight, Mr. Fisher is getting ready for a big shoot tomorrow, and oh God, it's so close to the edge. Oh my God. And so we are doing the show tonight, and that means that we're going to talk about relating, communicating, getting in relationships out of one. Just everything. So I'm going to want people to ask questions tonight because that's when it gets really fun. I also think I'm going to turn this light down a little bit because it is bright in my face. So let me just turn that down. There we go. And I'm back. Okay. So let me get my glasses on. Let's see if we can get this here so I can get the questions. Dawn Ferry is a good friend of mine. She is, let me see if I can get us both in that skinny little space. That means you got to get...
single, so Kat has her cup with Todd.
You know, I have my cup of Todd.
And I've got my cup of cat and a chicken, so...
Dawn Ferry is a...
I have a friend relationship.
She's a
production...
We do. She's a production designer and a set designer and works in the film industry. And she came to be with us for... people are starting to call in. They're like, I've been in the house for 80 days. Can I come see you? And it's great because they just get in their car and they drive here and it's wonderful.
I called on day 77. It was a Star Wars thing.
It was a Star Wars day. That is true. Okay, so I'm going to put my glasses on and see if I can read some of these comments that are coming in. Oh, I'm going to have to read. Are we still sideways? Oh my gosh. I don't think so. I don't think so. Hold on a second.
We weren't on the little...
yeah, we're still sideways, aren't we? Well, maybe we are. Guys, are we still sideways?
Yeah, there's our little...
Oh, okay, good. We're righted. All right.
Well,
so
we're not sideways anyway.
We are not sideways. So anybody that's out there that's just wanting to learn something new about being in relationships or getting out of one if you need to, or how to spot a dangerous personality, that's what we are here to do. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of laughs. Dawn is my single friend, and so look at this. You come in here and let's see if people see that beauty. You're just gorgeous. And so, we're gonna jam too because Dawn is, she's, I think, ready to find somebody, her very special life partner.
If one thing being alone for 77 days has taught me, I'm definitely ready to be in a relationship.
And you know what?
So much more fun with somebody.
Yeah. No, and you were alone, so that was really, a tough 77 days. But the thing about being alone that's great is that when you are just with you and yourself, that you figure out what you want and don't want, and so that's what it sounded like you did.
I did well, and it's also great is Don Miguel Ruiz is a friend of mine, always says you have to fall in love with yourself first.
That is true, and he happens to be one of my favorite authors of all times. So if you haven't read, if you haven't, I'm just trying to figure out where the good place is.
I'll just lean in.
No, I don't have my crew tonight, so we're just on our own. Don Miguel Ruiz. He wrote The Four Agreements. Mm-hmm. All right. So
Mastery of Love, a marvelous book if you've still got some time on your hands and you want to read something.
I think that the most important book of all, though, is The Four Agreements because it really taught me how we get into agreements with ourselves and with other people that aren't always the best thing that we make agreements with, and how to avoid getting into agreements with people that ultimately aren't going to serve us and make our lives really hard and miserable. And there's only 4 of them. The book is fantastic. It's called The Four Agreements. It changed my life. I literally got hit over the head with a book to read this book because someone had given it to me, and I put it on my bookshelf at the top, and like 3 years after it was given to me as a gift. It was given to me as a gift in 2 ways: cassette, which tells you how long ago that was, and what was the other? Oh, the book in a book form, right? Oh no, I bought it at a spa. That's what it was, and so my desk was really full of papers, as it always is, and cassette was underneath it, I'd say for a couple of years. And so one day I was looking for something on the bookshelf, and it was a bookshelf that was built into the wall. So it wasn't a bookshelf that would, you know, move in any way, shape, or form. And I was down rooting on the bottom of it, and a book literally came off the top shelf and hit me in the head. And it hurt. And I remember picking it up, and it was the Four Agreements. And I thought, oh my gosh, I forgot I bought
I
this.
meant to read that.
I bought it to read, and I never did. And then I went into my office the next day, and I was cleaning everything up and moving papers, and the cassette was there, and it had been there for about 4 years. So I thought, I'm supposed to read this book. It all made sense to me about why that book fell off the bookshelf and nearly knocked me out cold. The book changed my life, and you know, so I really urge you to read it because it makes so much sense. It is an easy read. It's not dense. It's a very friendly read, and he just gets to the point, you know. So I'm gonna look. Oh, look at all the people here. We're still sideways though. Somebody's go up here. Let me go back all
Just on
the
there
way.
we are, but the rest of it we aren't.
Okay, so
We've been
on there. So I'm
they
going to read
told us
this.
we're
Hi,
okay.
Lane. How are you? I'm so happy to see you. Sasha Renee. Hello, Seth Robichaud. I want to hear how your day was. I'm feeling really good, even though there's so much madness going on in the world. But that just goes to show you that I just have crazy good intuition, and I am overriding everything I'm seeing. Not because I need to, but because my senses are still telling me that everything is going to be okay. This is a time of unrest, just like the time that we just spent in our homes and still are, for us to learn something. And I still have a very positive feeling about the future, which is really good. It's not going to happen overnight, but I do think that this world is going to be, you know, I think what we're seeing is spiritual warfare is what I think. You know, is like the good and the bad, the good and the evil, the good and the evil. And I think in the end, the good will always win. I do believe that with all my heart. So hang tight, everybody, and just bear with me while I say to you that things are going to get better. They're going to be good. Life is going to be lived more evolved. And so that's the good news about this, right?
And if you aren't evolving, the universe will hit you over the head with the book and spirit you along. So
You know what?
You're going to be okay either way.
That
So.
if you aren't evolving, yes, you will get that spiritual slap in the face or knocked in the head. So Seth, I'm happy to see you. Hi Brad. Hi Lana. Liz Cochran. Are you really moving out here? I'll believe it when I see it, but I hope so. Hey Cheryl, Patty, Jan, Mark, and Kathy. Oh, Seth, it is good to see you. Hey Peggy, Paula. I've gotten some really nice mail from you all. Mark Wet. You know what, Mark? When this madness comes to it, and you need to come, you and Michael need to come to Las Vegas and see me, because everything this year got canceled. The Night Rider Fest, Nights of the West Coast festival was canceled, and that was your baby, and I know that was a painful thing to have to cancel that. So many things, all of our, everything has been canceled. So you know what I say? We're gonna do a do-over, and when everything gets better, you should come to Las Vegas, because I would love to see you guys. Also, Las Vegas opens. It was supposed to open tomorrow. However, the rioting.
No, I think it's still opening tomorrow. I saw on the news.
Really?
10 o'clock.
Okay,
10
well,
a.m.
some hotels are opening and casinos, but some moved their date to Tuesday. I think Planet Hollywood moved their date to Tuesday. So I'm not sure what other, I just saw it briefly on the news. There were a lot of hotels that are opening tomorrow, and then some that moved to next Tuesday because, you know, it's a little, people are kind of a little freaked out. But most people drive here, so, you know, hopefully by next week we'll be back in action here. So anyway, let me get back to here and see if
But in the same time,
Patty,
while we're
Nikki,
still
Kate. Kate Kelly sent me the nicest message today, as did Barb Kevern. Hey, John Stetson. Do you know how much I love you? Do you? That's all I want to know. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to John Stetson. He is one of the best mentalists out there, and he has been stuck in his house in Massachusetts for the same length of time, and I'm sure you are dying to get back to work. too. And I just miss you, so get yourself out here soon. I really want to see you. John is one of my mentors and teacher of what I do. So, you know, I just love you for your patience and kindness and friendship over the years. And for making me a better performer. You're fantastic. All right, so let's see here. Deb Tyler, Patty Hicklin Ford, my former sister-in-law, who I still consider family, 100%. Dawn's been using your cosmetics too, Tracy says. Yes, she is. She's catted up.
I catted up. She catted me.
I catted her up. And how long did it take?
About 2 minutes.
That's
came
all
as a
I
cat,
had.
help.
2 minutes to cat her up. So, you know, cat cosmetics works if you're in a hurry. I slapped mine on too, and it probably looks like it. But, hey, Josefa, Richard Nongard, one of my favorite people and a great hypnotist. It's good to see you there, Richard.
Something else they can do while they're stuck in, watch some of your makeup tutorials.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've been wanting to do more on live because they're so much fun. Let me see if anybody has a question. Letty is on.
Letty.
Yeah. Said, hello, Jerry McCambridge. How are you? It's good to see you here. Cindy Harris, I got a package from you. I haven't had a chance to open it today. I can't wait to see what it is. I'm not sideways, Heather says. That's good.
No, we're not.
I often do go sideways.
We've definitely gone sideways.
Oh, I went
several
sideways
occasions.
early this week and had a good old time doing it because there's, you know, if you really want to stop madness, you have to get off the ride. So this is a good place for us to like start. You know, I wrote a post this week that was needed to be written. I needed to get everything out, and I want this to end, this madness that I'm talking about. And so really what you have to do is get off the ride. I always like to think of not just relationships, but people who bring pain and drama to your life as a horrible ride. I hate roller coasters, so I picked the roller coaster to represent the pain and drama. So here's how.
Actually, I love roller coasters.
Do
but
you? You have the need for speed.
I do.
Yeah. So the roller coaster pulls up, right, and the doors open, and you're gonna get on it. I don't get on the ride, so I might get on the ride, and I don't know what ride I'm getting on, and then when I do the third loop, and I'm getting sick to my stomach. I push that button and get off that ride as soon as possible. So I got off the ride this week, so to speak.
That was a good roller coaster.
So I went from to because, you know, you are in charge of ending drama. It might not be easy, but it's very necessary because drama is stressful and no habla drama. We don't need to go there, you know, so you might already be in some drama. It's not easy to get out. It's never easy to end something.
Well, it is. It's, you just choose. You chose to get out.
I chose.
And you got out.
Yeah, that's right. And so I've been feeling really good. Friendship and a lot of tolerance and love for each other. That, you know what, Jennifer's saying that, and I think it's probably what she's talking about, what makes a relationship work, right? I mean, it really is so many things. And whenever I see an older couple together, like really older, I say, are you married? And they'll say, yes. And I'll say, tell me why how long have you been married? 50 years, 40 years, 60 years sometimes. And one couple recently, 75 years together. And so I always ask, can you please share with me what the secret is to your longevity? And you know, it's almost always when people say communication, which is why I love what I do, because it's all about communicating. And it's really wonderful that people share that, and they say, you know, some men say a happy wife is a happy life, which I love, you know, but men joke around, the older guys, and they say, oh, I just say yes, dear, this kind of stuff. But really what it is about is, I do think that you're right, Jennifer, about that, because friendship is really important. And some people, if they're immature, emotionally immature, they don't want to hear that because they think friendship means, you know, no sex, or, you know, they want to be in love. And people that get in and out of relationships constantly are you know, they're immature. They don't have emotional intelligence yet. And the good news is that you can always learn emotional intelligence. It's not like common sense, so to speak. It is something that is learnable, and when you get that, it is life-changing because you don't put yourself through unnecessary stuff. You learn how to listen to people, what they say and what they don't say. Remember, I think also, you know, I've said this so many times, but I have to say it over and over because it is so true. You know, when the words don't match the behavior, and that happens a lot. People do a lot of this and then they don't deliver. You know, you see what they're doing, you're like, wait a minute. They say this, but they do this, right?
Right.
Have you been through that a lot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, so I was married for a long time, and then my husband passed away. So
Yeah, and use your loud voice because we're on the speaker. Yeah.
So I'm single now, but I wasn't always single. I was with somebody really wonderful for 15 years.
Yes.
And I think the key is when they're bringing more to your life than they're detracting, when they make you a better person, and being with somebody who you care for them so much that you're willing to look at things and grow as a human being.
Right.
You know, and
Yep.
not just have to have your way all the time. And that's part of the communicating and listening.
Well, and being with a controlling person is a complete nightmare. So, I mean, you really,
Well, but that's on if they're taking more from your life than they're giving to it. Then time
That
to say,
is-
wish you well, good luck with that.
get on another
Bless you.
ride. You
Bless
have
you
to
on
get
your-
on the other
yeah.
ride. I'm getting on the kiddie ride, and we're gonna have a ball. But I do think that you know, when the words don't match the behavior, and you see this in the beginning of even just when you're starting to date, I think that take it from an actress, it's just dialogue, and they're not going to give you the behavior that they talk about.
Somebody I knew used to say, how you do anything is how you do everything. And it's not exactly true, but I think it points to a truth.
How you do anything is how you do everything. Okay, I got to hear what that is because I like the way it sounds, but what does it mean?
So if they're lacking integrity somewhere, like if they're coming to you all the time and they're talking about this friend that's just a disaster, probably they're talking to that friend about you in a disaster. You know,
Yep.
like there's people,
Still no sound.
what?
What? We have no sound? Oh my gosh, tell
We
me
must have
that's
sound.
not
People
true.
have been commenting.
Have they? Hi from
think.
Montana. No, as a matter of fact, I'm looking. Ryan Clements, I see you're here. You're coming here on the 15th of June. I cannot wait. One of my best friends in the world, Ryan
So
Clements.
you're talking about coasters.
Oh, some rides are unavoidable. Kate Kelly. So let me finish that, and then I'm going to go to that because that's interesting to me. So what,
That is really interesting.
Yeah. So what did that mean exactly?
So if you see a pattern, like they tend to not complete things, they tend to be out of integrity, they're probably going to be the same way about their relationship with you too.
Yes.
So it's just, you just look for signs. Like if they're saying
Wow.
one thing and they're doing something else
Yeah.
in other categories, probably they may be saying something and doing something else in your relationship category too.
Yeah. It's interesting too because that is you can tell so much about a person in so many little ways. Like if their car is a complete disastrous mess, right? That's usually like looking at the inside of their head, and this is silly, but I know
Or
a lot.
sometimes it's just not a priority to them. Like that a car is not,
I
if
don't
you're a
know
car
if-
person, they might not be the best person for you.
I don't think so. I here's a debate on that because I know a Fortune 500 company owner, a CEO of a big company, and he told me that when he interviews people and he really likes them and he thinks that he's going to hire them, that he always offers to walk them to their car. This is great.
That's interesting.
And so why he does that is because he wants to see the inside of their car. He wants to see what it looks like, because if their car is neat and clean on the inside, then he knows that they're good, they're in their mind neat and clean, and takes
Well,
care of themselves.
That's back to my how you do anything is how you do everything. If your car is neat and clean, your mind's probably neat and clean.
So there's another way of letting people. Hey, did you guys feel the earthquake? Rod Hardy, when? We had an earthquake today. The earth is always moving under my feet, and I did not. I did not feel anything unusual
notice a
today.
thing.
I didn't even see it on the news. Rod,
But we've had other
tell
things
me
on the
more
news.
about that, and I'll see you at the bottom here because I'd love to know. Kate, some rides are unavoidable though, and you got to breathe through, right? Okay.
That was a good one.
Are some rides unavoidable? That's part of what I have been through, and what I was bitching about this week and ranting and my rant, because I think rants are important as long as you stay on topic. But yes, in a way that is unavoidable because it's a family member, but not my family, but so. But what you can do is to get off the ride, and so I did that some years ago, and I will never get on that ride again because I've been on the ride 3 or 4 times, and so the behavior is now taken over any words. I really want to settle this and don't want to be in a feud, and I'm like, I'm not in a feud. This is the best my life has ever been without you in it.
Integrity, right?
That's right. Yeah. So I already heard that 3 or 4 times because I've already gone to that well, and the well is dry. So no, I don't need to do that to myself, and I don't think any of us need to do that to ourselves when people constantly let you down. I mean, not people, but a person constantly, the behavior, and again, the behavior and the words don't match. So I think that's one of the most important things. Rod Hardy, I love you. Kat, are you related to Dawn?
Yes, we're soul sisters.
Do we look related? No.
She's my sister from another mister.
It's just my sister from another mister. That's what we say. She's far more daring, and she's a very strong woman. And today we were talking about, let me tell you, I love being a strong woman, but I also love being a girly girl, if that makes sense. I have both, 2 sides like that way, and you do too. And so I think that's why we get along so well. I really love how smart you are, and your game, and you're way more game than I am, and I'm pretty game.
It depends.
Yeah.
There's some things you're more game for than I would be.
I don't know, but anyway, when you meet girls that you click with, it's like you have to always just make sure you have
power
make time
chicks in your life.
Exactly. Peggy, yes, no clue why I can't get sound. I have it turned up to the max. I don't know, not sure, but I'll welcome when you come in. I call my life one giant ocean with rough waves and all. Oh, Christian, that's interesting. I'd like you to tell me a little more about that, if you will. Go ahead and type that in. I'd like to see it. I'm so glad you shared that post with us. I'm glad you're feeling better. Hey, Devin Knight, how are you? It's good to have you in the room, another mentalist and magician, and I'm really happy you're here. I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm glad I shared that post too, because what I said in that post was, and you learn this with any self-help, like any Alcohol Anonymous, the Alcoholics Anonymous. There's so many of these programs out there. Every single one of them will tell you, though, you're only as sick as your secrets, and I've always admired that because it's true. And when you put something out there, it has to go. It has to leave, because you've committed to saying what it is that's making you really upset and putting it out. You just have to get it out. But you have to get it out with somebody that's safe. So why did I do that publicly? Because I know there's so many people that go through that, and that are having a tough time in not exactly the way I was, but in other ways that are very painful. Sometimes you have to go through a lot of pain before you just go, hey, these things just snap right off, and it's done, and you realize that you put yourself through a lot of pain when you didn't need to. So I did it because I wanted to get it out, and I also wanted people to know that we all have our stuff and our secrets, and that when we bring it to the light,
and our breaking points.
It's like I say, even a little animal with no fur or claws will, if backed into a corner hard enough, will strike back out and defend itself. So there's nothing wrong with doing that, but I felt
and even
safe
a really
to do
strong,
it.
gracious person can only be stronger at a certain point. When you have, like Miguel's number one, the first of the 4 agreements, be your word. You're impeccable with your word. And
Yeah.
when you're faced with it so long, you can be gracious so long, and then at a certain point, you have to be a stand for your beliefs and values.
Yeah, and you have to also be willing to be looked at, like, if someone says, wow, that's really bitchy, and you're like, and you say that like it's a bad thing, because sometimes that's what people bring out in us. And you can always tell when someone is bringing out not your best. If you don't feel good when you're in their presence, if you feel confused, a little crazy, you are with a crazy maker, and that is a big sign. So I'm a big believer in getting your secrets out. Like, my secret was how much I just loathe this person, and and why, and it's okay. It's okay for me to feel that way, and being tortured by a family member emotionally I don't care if it is a blood relative, it is not okay. And you just have to be okay with yourself to be strong about it and end that pain. People do have to earn their way into your life in a certain way. I don't think just because someone's a family member they get some special pass about it. I don't. But nobody should get a special pass. You deserve to be treated with respect. We all do. And if you're feeling like that's not happening, or feel like you're going crazy when you're around somebody, that is a really good sign that you are with a crazy maker, right?
Well, and back to being shut in, my epiphany was that I do everything for everybody. I was like the cobbler with terrible shoes, and I'm the designer. And my apartment, I've been meaning to put shelves in for the 15 years that I've been there. And I wasn't following my own rules, of not love yourself.
Yeah.
So
And
I realized how much I put all these other things ahead. And you were putting other things ahead. You were putting family interest and things ahead.
Well,
of
I
your
was trying
happiness
so
and-
hard to just put a square peg in a round hole, and what? No,
And I wasn't doing either. And then I got forced because I was shut in for 77 days. Well, guess I'll start at the front closet.
Look who's here.
Aww.
Robert Hicklin just walked through my door.
Ooh la la.
Aw.
This is for Dawn.
Aw.
Come on here.
Yeah, come on here. Come on here. Everyone's probably wondering where you are anyway. Come on in here. Okay.
Look at this beautiful man.
I got a bottle of our favorite wine
He bought a bottle of wine. There you are.
and some little baby roses.
Aw.
Nothing too fancy, just a thought,
I've never seen baby roses, and you put a necklace on it.
Little tiny. Well, that was in the kitchen, and my sense of art.
Does that give you the kind of idea of the way that my brother is? He's
No.
thoughtful. He's generous and kind, and it's the little things that are the big things. And
So I
so,
want to thank our mom and Patty. And of course, Poppy.
all right, I got to see what people are saying at this point. Let me see.
Well, these smell really good.
I am feeling so much better. Oh, Peggy's back. She got sound. Hi, Joyce. Cheryl Harris is here. Oh, it's so good to see everybody.
We're cracking that later.
All right, so what I'd like, hey, Stephen Edwards, I would like, let's see, how is everybody doing? Linda Owen, Rocky. I think you're new to this group. I don't think I've ever seen you in here before.
Great name.
Mariana Matthews, did you just feel the earthquake there? Wow, no, what earthquake? I was outside with the animals. I was putting them away, so I had, earth under my feet, right? I didn't feel anything.
But I didn't feel it move under my feet.
Nobody's run in here, so Todd has, he's packing up the crash car for tomorrow, so I don't know. I didn't feel it, thank God. Who needs that feeling? Asking, what can I do for you today? Kathy Jean. That's beautiful.
That's okay.
Can you imagine what would happen if every day that you wake up next to your beloved, if your
Or
first,
you see your friends.
or you see your friends, yeah. But in the terms of a relationship, it's just really Kathy Jean just lost her husband. It's been some years, but you miss him terribly, and I watch your posts and everything, and I just admire you so much, Kathy Jean. So, but I think that's true. If you woke up and they woke up, if you both woke up and said, how can I make their life better today? What little thing can I do to make someone's life better today? And because it's usually one person it's like you're on a gerbil wheel, a hamster wheel, doing all the work. Oh, maybe if I buy them this, or I do. It isn't about that. It's about thoughtful giving.
100%, both ways.
100%, we're never going to get 100% both
No,
ways.
but you try.
You try, but it's just not, I don't believe that is, I think maybe 1% or 2%
I don't know that it's
can
ever
happen.
possible, but I think if you're not trying, then you're letting yourself off the hook for...
Right.
And sure, there's days where you've got 0% to give, but...
Well, here's the thing. I think when you try your best, then you would expect that the other person
Always
is
do
gonna
your best. Agreement number 2.
Agreement number 2.
And you're currently talking about Don Miguel's 4 agreements tonight.
Yeah, always do your best. But I think what happens and where a lot of relationships go like this, and I've had my share. First of all, to be in a relationship, you need to be with somebody that they make you feel good to be in their presence. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You actually love who you are when you're with them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a really telling thing, that you feel comfortable, that you feel happy. And it's not like they make you happy, because you would never want to look outside of yourself for that.
But you feel free to express the best of who you are.
And they let you be who you are, and you
Mm-hmm.
let them be who they are. And it would really, and it doesn't help if you learn how to cook, because I'll tell you, I still believe that the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach, because I didn't cook until, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago. Before that, never. And I didn't do it for any reason except that I was living in Italy for 2 years, and I didn't have a whole lot to do, and so I learned how to speak Italian and how to cook. And when I did that and came back to the States, it was like suitor. And so I would cook, and then it was like an instant proposal. It was crazy, So what did I tell you? I've married everyone I've ever dated, right?
She has.
So it was the cooking, I tell you. So let's see if anybody has
But I
any
think
questions.
what you're pointing at too is like you want to. I mean,
Love
you love them, you like them.
Yep.
And Andy, I loved him, I liked him. He was my best friend. But we both also I thought he was cool, and he thought I was cool. And believe me, we weren't always cool, but we still thought the other one was cool.
Yeah.
We brought each other. I don't know. We brought out the best in each other.
Ugh,
Fun.
and when you have that, it's kind of hard to settle for something after that. Less.
You can't. Yeah.
You can't. So,
Well, you could. I haven't.
which is why when people are like Barb was saying, I've never been married, and here you go. You know what? You've escaped a lot of. You might think maybe, I don't know, that you missed out on something, or you might look at it as, you've learned how to be your own everything, your own best friend, your own, and you know what it means to me to be your own best friend? You know how people say that.
Mm-hmm.
So, being your own best friend is not, oh, isn't that a thing to say, right? Like airy-fairy.
You run across a field in slow motion at yourself.
Yes. What it means is giving yourself great advice. For me, this is what it means, because you know how people come to you and they'll tell you all the stuff, that their drama that they're going through, and they've burnt out all their friends with it, and they finally come to you, and they're not going to do anything you say. They're on a path. They're getting on the train tracks, and here comes the freight train, and you're like, but get off the track. It's coming, and they don't. They stand the tracks and wait. But what happens when people come to you for advice, you tend to tell them something from your point of view, but you also love them, so you don't want them to hurt themselves. But when you have your own struggles, and your own feelings that are, you're not sure what to do, but you're not happy, and all this. And so being your own best friend is really about, if a friend came to you with that same issue that you yourself are having,
Right.
what would you tell them, which is a lot more thoughtful when you think about it than what you just tell yourself. If you really look at it in a third person way and say, gosh, if Stephanie came to me and told me what I'm thinking,
What would I say?
well, what would I tell her? And so that's for me being your own best friend, because you're honest with yourself instead of making something work that isn't going to work, or that you know isn't good for you, and
Or hasn't been working.
or hasn't been working, or and knowing that being alone is also okay, very okay. My year and a half
Better
of no
than
dating
being
was
what's wrong.
better than being
For me, anyway.
Yeah.
It has been.
And so that's true. But there's a couple of people here that have also, they're telling me how many years they've been married. And I would like to know what your piece of advice is for people. 26, Angela Pritchett, 26 years.
Nice.
39 years, Mark and Kathy. Peggy says 34 years, so Barb has never been married. And like I said, Barbara, that might be just fine, because being alone is not a bad thing. You leave the house and come back to the house at the end of the day, and the same energy you left in it is still there, instead of someone coming in and going, wait. So, there's no rules about that. Some people can't be alone, and that is a true curse, because you're always going to end up
Well, they've been
in
having
pain.
some problems these last few months. But I think
Yeah.
it's good for them that they had to look at themselves and be alone with themselves and, maybe do some work on whatever that was.
Kathy Jean, I'm not sure exactly how old you are, Kathy Jean, but you're a young whatever you are. I can tell you that from reading your Facebook posts, and I like to get to know the people that come to the room. So if I see you participating and commenting, I will go get to know you on this Facebook page, because I'll go look you up and read the last few weeks or a month of your posts, so I can get a sense of you and your life. And I'm interested in people, and I love people, so for me it's a fun thing to do. But Kathy Jean was married for a very long time before her husband passed away, and she said being married to your best friend. And again, a lot of people who aren't emotionally intelligent cannot grasp that thought, because they're forever romantics, and they're in and out of relationships constantly, and because they need the rush of love. And those are the people that end up hurting us the most, because they're just after the rush, So I always say, when you meet somebody, if they sweep you off your feet, you have to be really careful. If they're doing too much too fast, if they're getting too close too fast, please don't let that be something that impresses you, because that's what it's meant to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're swept off your feet, you're left on your
Well, and if you really do like somebody, the biggest pitfall, don't put your best foot forward. I had a really dear friend, really liked this girl, like every Sunday taking her to brunch. Then football season rolled around,
Oh,
and he's
boy.
a huge fan. And he starts going, and all of a sudden he's like, I really like her, but she just complains all the time that, I gotta watch football. And I was like, well, let's see. It's been 6 months of you taking her out every brunch on Sunday, and now you suddenly stopped cold, and you wonder why she's complaining. It's like, well, but it's like,
well.
so
yes.
you also want to, sometimes people do earnestly start doing things like that, but then you have to sort of think long term too, or renegotiate. Like, I can't really do Sundays anymore. Can we do Saturday brunch?
Yeah,
Or,
I mean, check in, right?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
back to communicating.
Yeah, but I don't know how many guys we have in the room, but I would like to address this particular thing too. Let me just see if anybody has any questions. Everyone is agreeing about the best friend thing. Jennifer, my husband and I were friends before we started to say, you know what, let's start dating.
That's great.
You don't have to be in love with someone, just love them as your one and only. That's a beautiful thought, very much so. I figure I missed the special someone hitting 34 years old. I figured I missed the ride. Hey, the only
Au
ride.
contraire.
Yeah, I agree. Au contraire. I feel exactly the opposite of that. You know what, Christian? The older that you get, the smarter that you get. And if you really are smart, you will learn about yourself.
Right. The better you get to know yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You learn about yourself, because and accept, things that just are, and change the things that bother you about yourself. To be so evolved that you can say, well, I've never been in a relationship. I'm 34. I've never I've never been married. I'm 34, which is still really young, by the way. Why is that? And instead of, I'll tell you, that's a great thing to do, because you start to be okay with, you're not going to beat yourself up. Make that agreement right there. You're not going to beat yourself up. This is a question to learn how to be a better partner, how to be a better human being, and how to change things that maybe you need to change, and where did you learn them?
Or maybe you don't need to make it mean anything at all, other than you were actually questing for a certain something and you didn't feel strong enough in yourself to know who that was.
Yeah, and 34 is so young. But I work with a lot of people about relationships, and so I would love to help you figure that out, because the answers are they're right underneath the surface. I never take more than 1 hour and a session to not only get to this place in you that has maybe impeded being in a relationship that moves to marriage, but to find out where it started and how to change it, just with your thoughts, and it's intense, but it's fantastic, because your life just opens up. Her saying, gosh, I've been locked with myself in my place for 77 days, and she said it to me last night. She said, I really, what I've learned in those 77 days is that I do want to get married again someday. I have a real partner, and she's very smart, so I know that no one's going to be pulling anything over on her. But the beauty of getting older and not being in that relationship yet is that you do realize when you meet somebody that you have definite deal breakers, and that you have definite needs, and always, even if you're married now, if you feel disconnected from your mate, the best thing in the world, when you meet somebody, I love what's called full disclosure, where you write down, each of you writes down what could drive the other person crazy,
About yourself.
The bad things, I don't like the word bad, but the things about yourself that you
Perhaps in the past
perhaps in the past
have irked people.
And, well, you know what? It's so funny, because I actually went back to my husband's and said,
Oh, interesting.
"Oh yeah," and because we're still friends, so I'll say, "Well, could you and tell me about something, without being too harsh, like what was it about me that made us break down?" And I thought it was a pretty brave thing to do, because if someone doesn't like you, they could hurt you terribly. If someone loves you, they're going to tell you the truth from their point of view. Mm-hmm. And always remember, just because someone says it doesn't make it so.
Right.
But when things that people tell you about yourself resonate, and I had the same answer.
Wow.
They said they always felt like I was too independent and that I didn't need them for anything. And I thought, oh my God, well, if enough people call you a horse, you've got to buy a saddle, right? I mean, you've got to, so I started thinking a lot about that. And so, when I met Todd 10 years ago, and I really, said, look, I'm 53 years old, and I am kind of set in my ways, and I know my weaknesses, and so, I don't want anyone to try to change me, because this is it, not a diamond in the rough, baby, I'm the diamond now. So obviously if you feel like you want to mold me and change me, you need to move on to somebody else, because
Diamond's already been cut.
they said this stuff, I'm cut, I'm shiny, So part of it, of meeting people when you're older, is realizing they too are set in their ways. And that, you if you can't let someone be who they are, then you have to let them move on to someone that can, and be mature enough to do that. So I love full disclosure, where you write down, or type it into your computer in a Word document or something, all of the things about you that are great, good, and annoying, so that it just cuts out so much time. All right, so you both do it, and you send it back to each other, and then you might want to talk about some of it. But you know what's great about this? Well, Todd and I did full disclosure. All right, he sent me a picture of himself in his underwear because he's underwear man, with his dog by his side and his hair standing straight up because he had just woken up in the morning. So it was like a selfie in the mirror. And he said, "This is what I look like first thing in the morning." And I thought, gosh, that's unique, right? I said, I'm not sending you that picture yet, but it's like, wow. But when you do full disclosures with people, what's great about that is when they do something along the lines when you're in the relationship, you go, wait a minute, you didn't mention that in the full disclosure. In fact, you didn't mention that, or that. So we have to come back to the table because, you gotta come to some kind of understanding. It's when you get older, Christian, 34 is not old. And, I think it's good you haven't gotten married.
Well,
You're
and
learning
also-
what you need, and there's somebody out there that's just right for you. There is for all of us. There's no doubt.
And on with that, what's also great is maybe like for your perfect someone, the fact that you're independent is what they're actually been looking for. So,
Yeah.
What might be one person's negative could be,
Yeah.
the other person's. Andy was really smart, but he told the stupidest jokes. I thought that was cute. It was
Yeah.
like he was so nerdy. He would tell these jokes that were like, but I thought it was fun. I'm dirty too, so I really liked it. And he said in the past that had been a complaint from,
Yeah.
predecessors to me was that they just didn't get him.
Yes.
So
Well, I'll tell you, I think that full disclosure is really a good thing because then you have the paper. Hey, they wrote it. So when there's an issue and it's not on the full disclosure, you're like this. Okay, all right, number 177B, you said, right? It's right there in black and white. But on the other hand, I think when you are in a relationship for a while, and particularly if you're with somebody now, whether you're married or not, and it's just dragging along and nothing, there's been no excitement in it. And when I say excitement, I don't mean chills, thrills. I mean, that's just not what I mean at all. It just means that you haven't talked, that that maybe they haven't asked you how your day was, or, just thoughtless stuff that people take for granted in each other. And I do believe that a needs list is really important. Mm-hmm. And so you ask somebody to write down what their needs are, and you write down what your needs are. And then you can sit together. I like to, sit face to face, like with some space, with, legs on the couch. You know what I mean? That's because there's connection that way. And when you talk about needs, and men are really not great about saying this because they're not raised that way. It's not men are inferior thing I'm saying. It's just they're not raised this way. And
in fact, they're raised
the opposite.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're supposed to talk about
But-
that kind of thing. It's supposed to be manly.
And don't snap at somebody either when you're doing this because it's safe. It's a safe place to communicate. And you talk about needs and gentle conversation, let's call it. Because a lot of men say, oh, I wish, because I counsel both men and women, so it's like I kind of love that. And also I love having male friends, which I've had my whole life, because I learned so much about them. As a matter of fact, when I wrote this book right here, I interviewed so many people, and men were just so interesting because one thing that they said to me, all of the men, and a lot of them were my friends, so they felt okay to
Comfortable, right?
comfortable,
Be
yeah.
honest.
But they would say, when it came time to end a relationship, when the relationship just wasn't working anymore, they didn't have the courage to say, this just isn't working. I'm not happy. I think we should both move on. I'm so sorry. It's not you, it's me, whatever it is. But the thing is
love that
that
one.
they would rather, and I would love any guys that are out there to weigh in with me if this makes sense to you, if this might have been you or is the way you think. They, instead of being honest and saying, I think we need to break up or whatever it is, they don't want to hurt people. They don't want to hurt
They
the
think
girl.
it's less hurting to just
They-
dodge.
No, they don't dodge. They make the relationship so unbearable that she will break up with him and he doesn't have to be the bad guy. Now, they do this out of true, in their mind, because they don't want to hurt somebody. Sparing somebody. And it's sometimes not even a conscious thing that they do. But so many men for this book told me that story. So I would love if there's any guys out there, just weigh in. Yeah, that's kind of, I've done that. You know, it's good for you to understand that it's a whole lot less drama if you just get to it, and it's like pulling off a Band-Aid, right? You just rip. And the stitches
know
too.
Straight up, but I think most girls I know would rather just have a straight up, honest conversation.
But sometimes people don't break up with this is both sexes. They don't break up because clean because there's always been so much drama when you tiptoed around that in the past, and you just don't want to deal with it. And if you feel like you're going to break up with somebody and that they're going to cause a scene, and then I say do it by text. Sorry, that's just the way I feel. If you have a mature person, then you can be friends. There's all kinds of things that can happen, but men and women equally do this. Like make people afraid to be honest, which is because if you have emotional intelligence, you're not going to jump down to the floor, put your arms around their ankles and go, no, please don't go,
Well, if it's someone like that, you should definitely text. But otherwise, I think if they're a normal person, you should have a conversation. That's the decent thing to do. But if they're like a crazy person, of course, you don't want to put yourself in a position to be
so I'm going
to
roll down and see what people... I figure I missed the special someone at hitting 34 years old. Okay, well, that was Christian, so we're down. Terry Dixon's here. I can hear you over me watching Dean Martin's celebrity roasts. Oh my gosh, Christian.
I loved that show.
Hi, Pamela, Liz, Rolla, Tammy Wilson. Thank you for the beautiful... I think I got a beautiful note from you, and I really appreciate that. Okay, Darlene, Erica, D, 5.1, centered outside LA, but felt it here a bit. She's in Las Vegas, so no, I didn't. Robert Easton, Jr., Cat, get AR coating on your glasses. Guess what? They are. You must be an optometrist. This is a person I practically grew up with in Florida, so I haven't seen Robert in 40 or 45 years, but these are coated. Can you believe that? It's just that the kind of light that we use here in the office is so... That makes us so... Pretty. Yeah, it makes us look so pretty. Okay, you can't allow yourself to be hijacked. That's a good one, Liz. But that's about why it's important to align yourself in a relationship with somebody who lets you be who you are, and you let them be who they are. Right?
Back to the negotiating, too. Another great book, because I'm always quoting books because I'm a nerd, is The 5 Languages of Love. And
that book we've talked about on this show.
Wonderful.
It is so
because
fantastic.
So often people really are saying I love you, and they're saying it in different ways. And back to your negotiating of things that I needs like I need gifts, I need words, I need touches.
And you know what? Hey, when I hear something, I need gifts. I think that, but you know what? I've learned there's some people like that. I'm not one of them. I used to need the words. We talked about this. I don't need the words anymore. Because the actions are what mean so much to me, especially with Todd, because he's a person of action, so he's not a person of words. And so for the first few years, I was just, I really I need the words. I wish that sometimes he would just say the words. And then I read that book, The 5 Love Languages, and I thought, oh my God, I have a husband who really loves me. Because he's always doing something for me, building me something. Or,
in the midst of our having to prep for a shoot, she mentioned something she needed, and it was like...
And it has to do with my animals, it was about the chickens. And, I just say it, and he's out there doing it, and that is love right there.
It's really sweet.
That's love in action. Okay, let's see here. Hi,
That's
Maxine. Here's Maxine Moody, who is beautiful, this woman. She's in Florida. I met her twice, and I wish I could see you again. Marianne Fleischman, my God, we used to work together when I was on One Life to Live. It's good to see you, Marianne. I think you're living in California. Rod Hardy, she is very cute. I think he's talking about you.
Oh.
Are you, Rod?
Oh, thank you, Rod.
Rod is a friend of mine in Los Angeles. He's a director, a very good one, and he's Australian.
Oh, I love Oz. My roommate in Chicago is from Australia.
Yeah.
They're just fun waiting to happen. I love people from Australia.
Okay, so down here, are your energies the same? Rolla, tell me who you're asking about that. Me and Dawn or Todd and I? Our energies are, do you think that my energy and Todd's are the same? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, I don't. I sometimes have to really,
I think if you didn't have Kat, like you're like the social chairman. Todd would just be, and he loves that you drag him out all these places. I think he loves all of the things you do. But
Well,
he's definitely,
when I met him, he'd been living in the middle of nowhere on a ranch for 20 years, and and that's okay.
Beautiful ranch.
Yeah, nothing wrong with
Preston,
that. But I am a people person, and I don't really necessarily like to go out a lot, but I love having people come to the house.
I think you're just very different, but they complement each other, and that's
Yeah.
what's really wonderful about you two. Actually, one of the many things.
But look at him now; he's golfing every day. He is.
But he's hilarious on the show with you. They just did the most marvelous show. If you didn't see their show a couple of days ago, it was really, really sweet.
Which
you guys
one?
talked about
Oh,
relationship
yeah.
too, and
Yeah.
But he's so personable on the show, and
He's
very
really come
funny.
out of his
Yeah,
shell, so
very
that's
funny out of
good.
his shell. But again,
No.
that's what great relationships will do for you.
Right.
You help each other grow
Yeah.
and become,
And boy, that's it. Especially when you're our age and you get together. See, he could not date a younger woman. My husband is not into that.
See, Tom was 20-year-old now.
No, he could
I think it's
not.
20
No,
years.
I mean, there are guys that need that for their self-important feeling. You know what I mean? Like that are validated by this somehow. And one of the things that I really like about Todd when we met each other is that he's like, I cannot date somebody younger because I just don't feel like I don't really have anything to say. You know what I mean? Like they don't. If someone didn't like the Beatles, you know what I mean? Like he said it just makes no sense. And immediately I thought that was really mature. So I really loved that because it's okay if people date younger people, but you have to ask yourself why. Although I do have two
Although
friends.
that being said, dating older, I have found that some people are not really that active.
Yeah.
So, there is a
I can't
case
see
for-
you with that because you're an active girl.
I can't do couch potato. so-
Right. But I have friends who are married or they're engaged, and there's a big age difference there, but it doesn't look like it because she's super mature, and so her carriage of her personhood is
Right.
very, and he is very boyish. So they look great together. There's
Yeah.
and the respect I see between them. She's incredibly mature and beautiful, and he is an incredibly fantastic human being, and they just work. And
That's what I'm saying. Age isn't necessarily. It's
Yeah.
more like the maturity level of the person, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, if you so there's nothing wrong with dating anybody younger than you. You just always have to say, why do I need
Why
this?
am I, right.
Why am I doing this? It's okay to ask yourself questions like that. No matter how hard I try, I can't do girly girl. Yeah, you can.
Oh, of course you can.
might not
We
like
all
it.
have an inner girly
Come on
girl.
over. We do
And Courtney
girly
Cat. She'll put a dress on you like she did on me, and
I
we'll-
love getting girls all girly. So Kathy Jean's saying that was my first marriage. First husband came home from Vietnam with PTSD. I've met a lot of people that have come home from Vietnam and the Gulf War too. After my show, I meet a lot of people and talk to them. And sometimes, my show is an hour and a half. And I will sit and talk to people after the show and visit with them for 3 hours. I mean, and that's the best part. That's rough. That's a rough ride, very much so. In fact, I have met so many people with PTSD that I think, I really want to write a program for that because I would love to be able to help in some way. It's awful.
Hypnosis is very helpful for it.
It is, but you can also trigger some things that, I've worked not with the people that have PTSD, but I have worked with people that just freak out. You know what I mean? So you have to get them back to their happy place right away. People are traumatized by not just war, but life and watching the news and the rioting and looting. I mean, it's like,
Oh, I had looking at the rioting. I was at USC, Fight Go Trojans, when the riots happened, years ago,
Yeah.
and I definitely had some like PTSD when all of that stuff was happening. I'm in Santa Monica, and
Yeah.
there's like people rioting outside. I had flashbacks to
yeah, so, you
It
have to
was-
realize
a
that.
lot of things can cause it.
Mm-hmm. And the point in the end is, of course, to help people, and sometimes you have to go through the rough to get to the soft, as they say. So,
Oh wait, there's a really great next question.
what's that?
Kind of off topic, but
How would you handle negative friendships, specifically lately with the protests? And hold on, Bill, I'm trying really hard to get to the rest of this. This is going to be a good question, I can tell. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, here we go. Specifically lately with the protests and COVID, I've seen some really disturbing things from friends on Facebook. I've tried to scale back contact with them and time online. It's awful how angry and negative people have become. You know what? I have friends that don't have the same politics as I do. I have friends that, and we're civil. You know what I mean? They come over, we have fun. The other night, I asked a question about them because I just truly didn't
we were
understand.
actually just talking about this. It's really funny.
Yeah, I didn't understand something, so I said, so how does that work? How do you reconcile, the vote for this? And it wasn't an attack. It was just because I want to know. I'm interested in what other people think. I am open politically to speak to both sides without getting into some drama about it. And so, but there are just some people who aren't happy unless they're unhappy. We call them malcontents. You'll see this when you read people's posts, and it's always like Debbie Downer or, just heavy,
Yeah, but,
heavy, never light. And, their life is just so heavy, and they're angry because, and
It's always someone else's fault.
oh my God. Okay, so
But
Bill.
it is a perfect storm right now. On the other hand, in some people's defense, you look at riots, all of these things. I think that it's just been such a perfect storm of us being shut in. There's a
Yeah.
lot of fear. People haven't worked. They're not
Yeah.
sure when they're going to work. So I would say maybe it's time to cut people a little extra slack. But I also say, when someone's taking more from your life than they bring to it, wish them well, bless them.
Oh my
and,
gosh, you took the words out of my mouth. So, Bill, here's the answer. Validation. Thank you. I always love this. You bless them and send them on their way, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have bad relationships with many people, or, I'm not angry. I might have my thoughts about something, but typically I'm a pretty positive person most of the time.
Very.
That's how I know when someone is irritating me no end, because I'm very patient. I'm very, I know myself. In this many years I've been on the planet, I know myself. So when someone negative or troublemaking or a narcissist, who it's all kinds of fun, that those people, oh God, you bless them and send them on their way. It sounds like you don't really know some of these people, like you've never met them or anything like that. Just I call it the smote button. In the Bible it talks about people that are smited, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I haven't heard the smoke button. I'm looking forward to it.
the smoke button. And I haven't had to do it in a long time, but that's when you block and unfriend somebody because you don't want to see, hear, you just done, right? So I call that's my smiting.
Yeah,
I
I call
so-
it firing. I fired some friends. I have.
Yeah.
When they become more of a detraction than a positive, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
all drained. What is another thing they call them?
All
Energy
pain,
vampires.
no drain.
all drain.
It's energy
Yeah.
vampires and emotional vampires. So anyway,
Doesn't make you a bad person because
Right.
you're not willing to have bad people in your life and try to buoy them up.
right. It's really not our job, and you don't know these people, and they're malcontents, and nothing you do or say is going to make them happy. So
Oh, like you were saying earlier, you can lead a horse to good.
no, if enough people call you a horse, you have to buy a saddle. Here we go. Thank you for the question, though, Bill.
sure a lot of people are grappling with that right now.
You know what? I think so. Peggy sometimes exiting and reopening fixes sound. Okay, she's talking to Peggy. Kathy Hobbs is here. James Mapes is here. I couldn't admire anybody more. I really couldn't. James Mapes, I know that you're not participating in the comments, but I saw you entered the room, and I don't know if you're still here, but I love when you check in because he's written so many great books. He's a hypnotist and a mentalist, and he does one-man shows, and you know, he's wonderful. And I always love seeing you, and I just admire you so much. Thank you for coming in here tonight. I got a lot of mentalist friends here tonight. This is great. I miss you guys. John Stetson calls me mother. He will, if I'm at a magic convention, I'll hear someone say, "Mother," and it's John, and he's calling me across a room because, you know, I'm like the mother of...
Mother hen.
I'm the mother hen of my mentalists and
literally
magicians.
as well as metaphorically.
Yeah, it's a good seat to be in. There's so few girls in this game.
Maybe I should take up mentalism.
That's exactly right. But, you know, you guys stay tuned because... John and James, because when this thing is over, didn't I tell you this morning?
Mm-hmm.
I did. When this thing is over, I'm going to have like a open house of the people that I'm friends with.
Talking about this,
yeah. And I want everyone to come and just be and commune and jam, and we'll have dinner, and we'll stay up and have drinks and love on each other and
show each other all the new tricks you've worked out. We've been shut in for 3 months.
Oh my God, tricks, my darling, the routines.
All the new routines. Sorry, see, I'm not a mentalist yet.
But
so
anyway,
I don't know the proper verbiage.
I'm happy you're here, James, and I wish that if you would say hi. Roberta Kent, fantastic comedian in New York. Good to have you here. Kate Kelly, that earlier comment reminded the mermaid of her favorite phrase: "The ocean is everything I want to be. Beautiful, mysterious." Oh, I can't open it. Oh, okay. Mysterious, wild, and free.
Oh.
Exactly. Liz, I think sharing an affirmation is always better than keeping it to yourself. True, true. Garrett Godwin, you beautiful, God-loving, wonderful, sweet, kind, gentle human being. You know, I've never met Garrett, but we have been Facebook friends forever, and I don't even know how many years, Garrett, but I just think you're wonderful. And I think Garrett is in Michigan. It's amazing. I don't know most of these people personally, but I could tell you so much about them because I do my homework. Stephanie, Nicholas Lloyd, get yourself out here. See, I cleaned that up. Because I miss you.
That was a good catch. That was close.
That's right, Stephanie.
Close.
One of my very, very, very best friends is Stephanie Lloyd. Barbara Hammond, it's good you put that out there. It led me to respond by getting my secret out there. It's good. When you know what you do? When you get your secret out there, then nobody can hold that over your head.
Exactly. They lose power over you.
Yeah. You know, where I really learned that? When I was married to David Hasselhoff like 1,000 years ago, 4 lifetimes ago. Huh?
So it's a little less than that.
What was?
1,000 years.
1,000 years, yeah.
I'm making you younger.
Thank you. I look good for 1,000. But I learned that because, you know, I really wanted out of that relationship. And yet he was very famous, not when I met him, but by the time it was over, he was very famous. And our relationship was quite well known. And I don't remember I was on Capitol, that CBS show at the time. Anyway, it was very unbearable. It became unbearable. And so my mind was consumed at all times how to do this, because I didn't want to face, you know, the publicity. Now I don't care. It's my life. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, I was young.
Happy's more important than publicity.
But I was scared. I was living scared all the time until I realized that what other people think doesn't really matter, you know, because you're the one that has to live with yourself. And we just are so raised to worry about what other people think. And there's such freedom in not doing that anymore. But I just remember, you know, there was constant threats, you know, like, if you do this, I'll do this. If you say this, I'll do this. You'll never work again.
The power that he had over you,
yeah. And instead of going, really? Well, let me tell you what I can do. You know, I mean, I would just shrink, right? And so I became, I left the country for 2 years because I didn't want anyone to know where I was or anything. I left my career for 2 years. It was the best thing that I ever did because I found myself, my strength. I didn't speak the language when I got there. There's no such thing as a line in Italy. It's a crowd. You have to, and I had to learn how to be completely independent and learn another language. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. But my secrets, all the way up to the end of that, it was just, what do people think? I'm letting people down, and all that sort of thing. And I should have never let that thought enter my head. But that was my youth, my inexperience of life, and worrying about what people think.
People. Look, how many films has the plot been that like someone's about to give over the keys to blow up the world because they have a secret they don't want someone to know? It's
Right.
a power that people have over.
Right.
So and it's but really people only have the power that we give them over us. So
And
once we realize
I
that,
started to realize too, publicity-wise, if I just tell my secrets, then I'm not chased by my secrets, if that makes sense. And you don't have to be famous to understand
Or
what I'm
victim to your
saying.
secrets, yeah.
You're a victim to your secrets. And the master of this was Carrie Fisher, who wrote books about her her drug addictions, her shock treatments, her bipolar, she was the master of that. So, and when somebody would call and, make a threat about exposing her, whatever, I've already done it, she would just, and it was really...
Okay, just give me the next idea for my next book.
Exactly.
Perfect.
All right, so let's see what time, we're getting close to having to say goodbye. We haven't even put those, but I have things to give
You got
away.
questions too. Huh?
Kate Kelly, and so what, right, Kat? Always love that phrase from you. Liz Cochran made a shirt for me, and it said in crystals across the front, and so what? Because
That's
you know why?
That's a good one.
Here it is. My 3 favorite words in the English language are, I love you. And my second 3 favorite words in the English language are, and so what? Because you take back your mojo when things don't matter, If you want to piss off your partner, say, I don't care. Even if it's something as like, where do you want to go to dinner? I don't care. That's just you don't ever say that to somebody
Such a
you care
cop-out.
about.
It's a cop-out.
Here's the better choice. It doesn't matter. You're saying the same thing in a non-aggressive way. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, you're going to go through stuff, but I'm happy that you got your secret out, whatever it was, because Stephanie Lloyd, not okay. What's not okay? Oh, Rod Hardy, thank you. Stephanie, tell me what you're talking about below. Melinda Fader, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in years. Hi, Melinda. Andrea Beasley Walters. I went to high school with Andrea, and I think junior high and high school. She was always the star of all the musicals, and beautiful girl. You need to get it out. You are human. I can relate to you. Thank you, Tammy. I am human. Oh boy, am I human. Kathy Jean, I wish I understood relationships when I was in my 20s. Yeah, we all do, but that's the cool part about getting older. Especially women are always like, oh my God, I'm getting older. I remember a girlfriend of mine turned 40 and at that time I was 50, and so she, came to New York and we went out and she was lamenting about turning 40. And I'm like, look, I'm 50. Zip it, because this is all in your head. Really, it is. The greatest part about getting older is life lessons. You know, is what you learn. You can't learn all this in your 20s. I mean, you're too busy being fabulous in your 20s.
Well, and life is like a really good book. You read it in your 20s, you read it again in your 40s, and you get all this stuff you didn't get in your 20s. Why?
Yep.
Now you got the life experience, and so you get to enjoy it twice. You enjoy what you enjoyed in your 20s, you enjoy what you enjoy in your 40s.
It's so true, but anyway, now I just saw her on Facebook the other day, and she's now, she's got to be 55. She looks absolutely amazing. But, I remember that funny walk down to Soho where, she was really seriously depressed. And I'm like, 40? Girl, that's young, So
40s and your 20s.
All right. So, gosh, we got a lot in here. So let me just see if there's anybody that has any questions, because we can pick this up anytime. And this is when my brother was here. So we have, God, I don't even know how many. We are my.
Woefully behind.
That's right. Aw, Christian has a cat. You got to find a cat lover there, boy, because that's a big deal breaker. Let me see. This is right here has been my. This right here has been my relationship and happiest relationship I've had in a long time. That's Liz. Let's see.
Someone stopped cooking when their husband died.
Oh, I can understand. Scott Edmondson. Let me give you them kisses. Cooking doesn't matter to me. I can cook and bake well enough. Well, then Scott, what is it that matters
Scott,
to
you're
you?
my dream man then.
That's right. You
He cooks.
don't cook, do you?
I cook,
Yeah.
but it's nice to cook. I think what she was saying when she stopped cooking, it's so much more fun to cook with somebody
Right.
else. You like can feed each other. You can.
Scott, put below what you would like in a woman because I love to know that. Okay, Carlos, I gotcha. He said he hasn't been in a relationship in 7 years, so that's, good. Getting to know yourself is never a bad thing. Maxine, you don't know this cat, but I had a 10-year relationship and 2 years ago, and I still can't get over it. Was a very, oh boy, strong attachment with the wrong person. Well, you know what, Maxine? Usually when you can't get over somebody, it's because you were in a spell. I know that sounds witchy woo-woo, but we do. We fall under spells with certain personalities, and when there's a strong sexual attraction, that is really dangerous because if the person turns out not to be your person, you could that can pull you and keep you in a relationship longer than the expiration date, I should say, really is on that. But Maxine, you are so beautiful and so wonderful, and you deserve somebody that makes you feel beautiful and wonderful for all of your life, and I'd love to explore that with you if you ever want to. And this book right here is helped a lot of people get over things that relationships that ended years and years ago, and they can't get past it. So let's talk soon. I would love to explore that with you. Patty, I've always been single, but I really love to be someone's person. I love that. Well, you know what? What I love is that when she said that yesterday, last night, what I really have learned by being alone for 77 days is that I want to find my person, get married, and have a partner in life. Just her saying that, just her saying it, declaring it. Now it's very likely that she will have suitors come, and now her job is going to be who is right for me, and that's the job of all of us, men and women too, just really take your time. I'm going to talk about that.
Because I did, it's not that I wasn't interested, but I just, you get, like we're talking about, you get things on different levels, and I realized, well, I really did love having a partner in life, and this would be, on so many levels, so much more fun.
Yep. Jen Kaiser, I love you, girl. I love being alone so much. I have always been super independent, and it was hard to give that up. I've now been married. Oh, I would love to meet your husband, Jen. A little over a year, together 4 years. He must be somebody very special. That's all I have to say, Jen. 25 years together. Love how he cares so much about me and vice versa. Cindy Harris, my dogs are my best friends. You know what, Cindy? I will say that to somebody that's, living alone and hasn't, people say I'm lonely. Get a chicken. This is real. Seriously, getting a dog is like the best thing ever.
Get a chicken.
No, I was going through.
Where's the cup here?
The person.
Get a chicken.
That's right.
Look at that. That's love right there. Look at that happy face.
The person that was the impetus for me writing this book was somebody I met in Italy and was with for 2 solid years. And I was absolutely crazy about him. And quite abruptly, after 2 years, it was, not in a mean way, but it matured me. I know how mature living there made me, because when he said, I don't think that this is going to work. And I was in shock. It was like, what? I had always left relationships, so this was the first time someone had ever left me. And so it was really kind of, wow, is that what it feels like? This really sucks. You know what I mean? And I was having a really hard time getting over it. And so I created this this idea, the 30-day heartbreak cure, and based around the principles of hypnosis too, because I was already a hypnotist, and I know how the mind works and what the mind rules are, and how what we do to ourselves, and so I decided that I was going to give it 30 days, 30, not another minute, and I would find things to do in all of those 30 days that would help to heal me, and so that's how I came up with this book. And don't you know that he called me on day 31? Day 30.
That's really
I
funny.
slept with the phone next to my pillow. This was before, cell phones. Well, not before, but we didn't have them like attached to us like we do now. So I had the phone. Oh, please call me. It was just really pathetic. And on day 31, he calls. I've made the biggest mistake of my life, and I'm like, yeah, but you're off by a day. I can't.
Day 31, sorry.
I'm on day 31. I just, and it's so funny.
Day 29, maybe.
And I was okay with it. So that's why I know this program works. And I don't mean to ever sound arrogant when I talk about relationships or anything like that, because I never want to sound like that. And again, I forgot to start the show with my take the best and leave the rest. Just because I say it doesn't mean it's right for you. If it resonates with you, then fantastic. If it doesn't, say, well, that's her opinion, I'm not the knower of all. So take the best and leave the rest. And my cousin Ward is here. Hello. Okay, so I'm going to scroll all the way down because we're going to give stuff away. I love
I'm
being
going to date
with you
myself here,
tonight.
but I always feel like Romper Room and everything. And I see Linda and I see Peggy. It was this kid's show where she had this magic mirror and she'd look at it and it would vanish and you'd see people's names. But you have to be from Chicago probably too.
Okay, look at this. Linda Taylor. I have been married for 22 years. My first husband was killed after a little over 5 years. He was killed before our second son was born. When I was in 8th grade, I saw him. Then about 7 years later, he saw me. I would love to know what you mean by that, because I know that there's something really, there's a jewel in there.
I think she means she noticed him in 8th grade, but he didn't notice her for 7 years.
Oh,
later.
yeah. Oh, Linda, that's a story. It's kind of like you. You lost your husband after how many years?
15, he's my college sweetheart.
Yeah. Oh, boy. I love this talk, and your glasses are fierce. Yeah, baby.
Thank God. I love his glasses, too.
So thank you for that. Frames are made by Ray-Ban, and they have my prescription in them. So if you go to Lens Crafters, they carry these, and then you just have your prescription put in there. Yes, okay, so here we go. My husband was my brother's best friend. Met him when I was 12 years old. Grew up when we started dating. We laugh in the good and bad times. We have gone through a lot. We yell and let it all out and then let it go. Wow. Now that's good advice. That's exactly the way it should be.
Like you're saying, you let it out, let it go.
Let it out,
The
let
things
it
you
go.
don't say
Don't
are the
be
things
bitter,
that come
be
back
better.
and get you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Sure.
so I'm really trying to get to the bottom. There must be
Time to get to
2,000.
the bottom of this cat.
Huh?
Time to get to the bottom of this cat.
I know, the bottom, there we go. All right, so the funny thing is about this, hey, Emily Lard, one of my besties right there in Arkansas. I miss you, you need to come see me. All right, so I'm going to read through these later. Rod Hardy, thank you for sharing your wisdom. I'm forever learning and love it. Thank you. You know what? We will learn till they plant us. That's
I
what
hope
I
so.
said, right? Till they plant me, I'll be learning. I get turned on by learning, and I love it when somebody says something and it's so profound to me that I have to write it down. That's a moment,
Yeah,
you know.
look it up later.
I know, that's so great. You're welcome, Rod. I hope to see you soon too. I miss you a lot. And I will go back at the end and revisit. Let's give stuff away. Let me just see where this ends. Do you believe this? Oh my gosh. Oh, here we are. All right.
Oh, wow.
Where are the good men?
They're all over, I'm sure.
Now, see, that's positivity right there. I love
Hey,
that.
there's like 7 billion on the planet, right?
I think there's
But
I think there's
statistically,
somebody exactly
at
right
least
for
half.
everybody. I do believe
I
that.
do too. I
mean,
believe
yeah.
there's more. Hopefully, there's more than one right for everybody because I had one already, but I feel like I've got another one.
That's right. I know you do.
It's
And
the apple of my eye, but I like pears.
but
too.
I know what you're saying. You're asking, where are they? How do I meet them?
But I
That-
think it's true. They're everywhere.
Yeah, I do too. I think the best way to meet somebody is through friends. I do, because your friends aren't going to set you up with some loser, right? You know, that's going to hurt you.
True.
And when I use the word loser,
It's like having a reference.
yeah, I mean that as somebody that's, you know, right? Who needs that? Just wasting
Having
time.
friends introduce you is like having a
Yeah.
reference. They've already sort of vetted them.
That's right. Everyone, hey, Kendra, another hypnotist out there. It's good to have you here. It's good to see you. Nice having you in the room. Bill, yes, I fully agree. What would you ever want to stop learning? I never will stop
I
learning.
never want to stop learning.
Till they plant me, I'll be learning. So let's give stuff away. How about it? I appreciate you being
I'd like
there.
to learn who's going to win all this stuff you're giving away.
Okay, let's get started. I have new Ryan Clements trivia questions. I'm going to try to make them really easy. Let's see here. Well, one word movie titles. I like that. I like
That's
that.
fun.
So I'm going to give away 4 things. All right. The first thing is the necklace that I'm wearing. If you can see,
Really beautiful.
Yeah, it's got it's leather, silver, and it has crystals.
And it's long.
And it's long, which
Like
you
a
know,
rope necklace.
You know, here, see how long it is, and you know my rule about long necklaces: long necklace, long body. It's what makes you look long and lean. So this necklace
Oh,
is
I've got a short necklace on.
and that's my necklace
That's
too.
her necklace too, by the way.
That's
We're
right.
talking about dressing. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I just got it the other day for like no money. It made me really happy. All right, so the first thing is going to be this necklace right here. All right. And just to sweeten the pot,
Uh-oh. But wait, there's more.
but wait, there's more. Just to sweeten the pot, I am also going to give away these.
Wow.
That's right. These matching earrings. You see the earrings that match it? You see, I what a little mess I make. The matching earrings, right?
Needs technical support, that's why.
So these are matching with this. All right. So that is going to be the first thing I give away. And so here we go. You guys ready? Now, I'm going to have to see it here because it's
Know
the
who
first
got it
person I
first.
see. Seth. Absolutely. It's always so wonderful to keep learning and growing, and I am loving these shows. Good. Makes me
All right,
feel
I'm
great.
glued
Thank
to
you,
the
Seth.
screen.
You're glued, yeah, you're glued to the screen, so it's going to be the first one we get, the first one we see. Here we go.
Oh, Todd is in here. Give the farm away.
Is that Ryan? Todd isn't here. Erica D, you know me really well. Okay, here we go. One word movie titles. Now, some of these are really easy, and I think that, right?
Well, there's a couple that are.
Which one do you like? Let's see. For the necklace haul.
That's a little tricky, well.
which one?
Maybe not.
Okay, all right. Number 3, here we go. Pay attention, get your fingers on the keys. What 1983 Al Pacino film was originally given an X rating due to the extreme violence, strong language, and hard drug use? 1983 film with Al Pacino. It is a one-word movie title. So here we go.
There you go,
Holly
Holly.
Skaggs. We both saw it at the same time. Scarface is the answer. Holly Skaggs, you have this necklace and those earrings coming your way.
Oh, wait, where's the pen?
Yes, you have to write these down because I remember when I first started this. Oh my gosh.
Oh, heavens.
Oh,
mercy.
heavens to Betsy. There we go.
Let's write it in.
Pen would be in here. I always try to keep something in my desk that's...
We're meticulously organized. Speaking
That
of,
is an eye...
you can look in her car, but don't look in her drawer.
Oh yeah, you can. My car is neat. My drawer is a hot mess. Okay, here we go. But you're gonna help me with that. Here we go. Did you like that? How easy that was? We'll do this. I'll do another one. Let's see. What is the prize first, right? Okay, for this one, and I'm telling you, guy, girl, chicken, goat, it doesn't matter what you are. You're gonna love this book. This is my second book.
Oh, I love that book.
I love this book too.
It's so sweet.
And it's called Cat and Fern's Excellent God Adventure, Daily Inspirations for 365 Days of Heaven on Earth. So Fern and I wrote this book together. This book is so good because she got messages from God every morning between 4:30 and 5 in the morning, and then she would write them down, and then when computers came out, she was all in her 80s at that point when computers came out and she started typing them out, and she would send them to her daughter every day, who was one of my best friends and remains so. And so she told me about her mother, and I was like, oh my God, I would love to know what God is thinking. Every day, right? Do you think it would be okay if she would share some of those with me? And she said, I'll ask her. And so Lindsay would forward them to me every day, and it was like having someone know your every secret, your every thought, your every hurt, your every joy. I felt like that she was writing to me, which is always a really good sign. So she takes some of the days, and then I take the other days, because I've been, a writer for a long time. And so when you get the book, you will go to let's see, where are we here? May. So you would start kind of in the middle, whatever, June. Each chapter has a date, and that's the only thing that you read. You don't read ahead or behind you, because this is a one-year book, and it's you just read a little bit, and makes your life and day really nice. So
you give your book away, but maybe you should post one of yours every day. It'd be a much nicer thing for people to start their day with and have in their heads than all of this negative things they had in their heads. This
book is really special. So this is the prize, Cat and Fern's Excellent God Adventure, and so let's give that away. The second, let me just get Rick Martin. I miss you. How's Orlando? Somebody needs to go somewhere so we can see each other. All right, so let's see here. One letter answers.
That's cool. Oh, that's a good one.
That's too hard.
No.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ha. We'll see. One letter answers. Here we go. In the Scarlet Letter, what letter must Hester Prynne wear on her dress? Wow.
What is the Scarlet Letter?
Yes.
In other words?
You got the good eyes, so you go ahead and get that. So it is a one letter answer. In the Scarlet Letter,
there.
where
Laura
Klinkner. Oh, this is always the hardest one to pronounce. Anyway, Laura and Barb were the first two people. So I am going to send a book out to Laura and Barb Kevern. All right? Kevern, yes. Barb Kevern and Laura right there. Isn't that Laura? I'm so sorry, because I'd hate maligning anybody's name, but that's a tough one. But here you go. You'll both get a copy of that book, and if you want me to sign it, just PM me and let me know who you want me to sign that to. And then
you can spell Barb's the same.
that's right. Does anybody want to do? Oh, the letter was A. The Scarlet Letter was A. That was it was a little bit hard. So we're going to do another prize. Let's see here. Okay. Oh boy, here's a really.
Should we mark off the ones we've already done? Just so down.
Yes, that would be great. Okay, so we're gonna give away. I always love to give this away because people like it, and I do too. I'm gonna just put one of these in here. All right, so.
Oh, the new one. I love this cat Dana.
I know, but they get to pick what color they want. Okay, so I have a white one. I have a. You know what? This is great. Okay, we have red. We have black.
It'd be highly coveted hot pink. Like two of them.
No, left. Oh yeah, I forgot the hot pink. So the cat Dana in the cup. Oh no, not that cup. This cup. Well, I've got water in it. Oh, here's one. Here's one right here. Does it have water?
That's got water in it too. That's my cat cup.
All right, so here's the cup. The Cat and Todd cup.
Oh no, that's the cat and chicken cup.
Oh gosh. Okay. The Cat and Todd cup.
Another beautiful couple. It's another wonderful couple.
Well, that was the love of my life nugget. So there's the cup.
The other love of
and we can sign it on the back. See my lips there. It's not going to be that cup. It'll be a new one. Also, no baggage. One of my favorite products that goes under your eyes. Men and women can use this because it's not actually makeup.
Just reminded me, I got to get another one of those.
Well, if you're really nice, I'll give you one.
Thanks.
Okay, so we have that, and we have your choice of Cat Dana, which is a one piece that you pull over your neck, and you can just pull it up when you go into a store. You can just pull it up and it covers your face, and it's really great looking, and you just wear it around your neck, wear it around your wrist, use it as a scrunchie. You can do so much with this. So you get your choice of color. We have white, we have, is that black underneath there? Or white?
There's black.
Okay, we have one black, and we have white, and we have tie-dye, hot pink.
There's blue. Oh, there's some blue over there.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, I love the blue. That's my favorite
They look
one.
great with jeans, the blue.
Yeah, true enough. Okay, so we'll get the cup. Yep. You get the Cat Dana of your choice. You get the no baggage. And the most wonderful thing is you get the hand surface sanitizer,
this
hand
is a really
sanitizer,
goodie.
yes. And you will also
She's
get
giving away the.
you also get the no drying your hands. It's a really luxurious hand sanitizer that we make, and it is amazing. And so, you know, if this is for going back out into the world, you spray your phone, spray your steering wheel, spray a countertop, you can, you know, where you're going to eat, or, you know, and this is just a must-have. It's so fantastic. So you get all that if you answer this question correctly. This is so easy. Oh my God, so easy, 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 easy.
It's a tougher
easy.
one. That's a lot of stuff.
But you know what? I like people to be able to win. It's just then a question of who gets that answer and
Who's
fastest.
the fastest typist?
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Ooh, there's one more thing here. Oh, I love this. Oh boy, this isn't the easiest. There's an easy one here. How about this? TV game shows. And we're gonna get all the way to the bottom. All right. Who was the host of the original U.S. version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Who was the host of the original U.S. version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? That will win you. That will win you. I know. You can see the paper.
Oh,
Okay. Got it.
Regis.
I know. Jennifer Levy got it first.
Yes.
But oh my God,
But did
Kat,
you see the
that's a
paper?
lot.
We gotta be honest.
You gotta be honest. Are you honest? Did
Jennifer
you
Levy.
see the paper? I'm allergic to something in here because my eyes are just watering. Okay, and then I said 4 things, right? So congratulations. The answer was Regis Philbin.
And you have to let
Regis.
it. Yeah, and you have to let us know what color bandana you want to, Jennifer.
Right. So make sure you, Jennifer, leave me a message, a private message right here on my page, and that is
Wait,
that.
I gotta mark that one off.
Okay, you want to mark that one off?
Don't get me in trouble with Dora.
No,
I promised her I'd keep
I know
track
Dora's
for you.
on vacation, so we're doing this all on our own, and she's having a great time. So I guess that is it. I have one more thing. Where is it? What is it?
I don't know.
Let me see. What can I give that people would really like to have? I must say I've got. How about a kit? How about that?
Wow. Okay.
A makeup kit? Let me just go get that. Dawn, take it away.
What? What am I doing? Wait. Oh, I thought you wanted me to. Okay.
Let's take it away, Dawn. Okay, so here we go. We have.
Oh, but I have to get all the accoutrement for that too, right? Okay.
No, it's just we're gonna do this kit and a lip gloss. Okay, so this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get the Miracle Working Kit and a lip gloss. There you go, and you get a brush with that too. Comes with a really cool brush for the eyes, and you get a powder brush. So this is it. I'm gonna give away this. This is my favorite kit. This is the one I have on right now. You have bronzer, you have blush, you have deeper blush, eyeshadow, crazy good, beautiful eyeshadow, and then the black eyeshadow, which makes your eyes go pink right out of your head. So that is the prize on this one, and then you get also the lip gloss, which I'll put on right now because my lips are so dry. All right, so who is going to win
You
this?
used on me when you did that
Yeah.
makeover on me.
Mhm.
I love that kit.
This kit is everything. It's called the the Miracle Working
Miracle.
Kit. Yeah, that's my top dog favorite. So
And she had it on her too, so you can imagine that both of
Yes.
us can have the same kit. That's kind
Look
of
at
a
those
miracle
lips.
in a way.
oh, there's you know what?
Ooh la la.
You know what I love about my lip gloss? If you kiss the sidewalk, your lips wouldn't stick, and it's not sticky, and it brightens up your face. Okay, so here we go, guys. Get ready. Get your hands and fingers on those keys. Let's do this. We are going to go with let's see here. Ooh, that's too hard, right? Oh, here's another game show one. I don't know. Maybe game show isn't fair because how many guys actually sit around? But guys aren't going to wear this anyway. Well, some might, but and then there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so here we go.
That's full circle right there. That's great.
I had to correct myself immediately. Okay,
Cat gets PC.
a cat gets PC. It's not easy.
There's anything wrong with
It
that.
isn't. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, here we go. TV game show number 3. What game show host always ended every episode by saying, "Have your pets spayed or neutered"? What game show host always ended the show by saying, "Have your pets spayed or neutered"? I know who can read the paper. You have laser vision. Oh, I used to have bionic vision. I miss it.
Bob Barker.
Jennifer Levy again. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm gonna do one more because I don't let people that won
Yeah.
something play,
There's
and I
Peggy.
forgot.
Oh, whoop.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to. So Jennifer is. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to give away the same kit. Okay. The same kit, and so everybody, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. All right. Oh, here we go. And if a guy wins this, then we'll figure out something if you don't want this.
And if you've already won,
And if you've already won, don't play because we want to be fair.
Fair.
Okay, here we go. Number 4. Howie Mandel hosted this game show featuring contestants who choose a suitcase and haggle with a banker in an effort to win money. What was the name of that show? Yes, he did love animals. I knew Bob Barker really well. He was kind of interesting, but he loved animals, and I loved that about him. No, Jennifer, you won it fair and square. I don't mind giving it away, but thank
There
you
it
for
is.
being...
Erica.
D. Deal or no deal? Good for you. Deal or no deal is the answer. And there you have it. Okay, everybody. I don't have the ruby red slippers to say goodnight with, so I'll just simply say goodnight with this. Come on in here.
Same.
First of all, thank you for being on the show with me tonight.
My pleasure.
Thank you for coming to visit me because I get lonely for people during this time, like everybody out there does, right? I love you. And just remember that you have more power than you think you do. You're more in control than you think you are about your life. We're never in control of anything outside of our real estate, just what we say and think and how we affect the world. And I want you to really start to think positive, no matter what you see on TV, no matter what no matter what you hear. I want you to kind of be in your own world in your mind and stay positive and just know that everything is going to be okay. It truly is. I believe that with all my heart. You can do anything you want, be anybody you want, and life is just one. I mean, as far as I know, I'm not really into the reincarnation thing, but I know that there's possibilities. But as far as I know, this is your one and only life. And
We're all in it together.
And we're all in it together. And one of my mentors said, it was Anthony Gailey said, "You're only in control of so much, so be in control of it." And I've always loved that.
That's great.
Yeah. All right, you guys, have a wonderful night. We'll see you Friday night. I'll have Todd back in the hot seat. And
Todd will be playing the part of Todd.
tonight, the
Instead of
part
me.
of Todd Fisher will be played by
Don Ferry.
Todd Ferry. I love you so much. Really do. Have a great night, and we'll see you Friday night. I'll probably see you before then, but one never knows. Bye, guys.
Bye.